YTBC student. Now, that is the youngest, baddest uploader who has stepped foot and touched buttons on this thing and has made total sense. And I tell you something, I've seen a lot of them come and go. But YTBC student has now graduated into the midst of the masters.
What up, everybody who talks boxing, comments about boxing, and makes boxing videos? Now, you knew I was going to talk about this. There's no way I wasn't. First off, I want to give a big shout out to everybody who watched the fight, to everybody who's talking about the fight, and regardless on what your stance of how the fight ended up, big shout out to you. And before I continue, the first thing I want to say is, if you're the type of boxing fan that just goes and listens to videos, and if you disagree, you don't listen to the points, you don't use critical thinking, and all you're gonna do is look for a reason to insult somebody because they have an opinion that differs from yours, please do yourself and do me a favor and leave the video. Now, if you're somebody who uses critical thinking, who thinks for themselves, who doesn't look for any little reason to insult somebody just because their opinion differs from yours, and you actually are willing to go into a boxing fan's video with an open mind, and you understand that freedom of speech goes both ways, that you can't just be going online and telling people to shut up just because you disagree with them. If that's you, feel free to listen to the video and feel free to comment, and subscribe. I mean, I rarely ever say that, but you know, I think I can make an exception in this particular case. If that description fits you, please subscribe. Those are the type of subscribers I'm looking for. So anyways, that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and move along with this video. So there is a lot being said about this fight, and it's all very interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and give my take. Now, keep in mind, this is the opinion of a total stranger, because don't none of y'all know me in real life. I don't, and even the ones that I consider friends, we're friends because we talk boxing. So don't take it offensively when I say I don't know you, because the fact of the matter is we don't hang out outside of YouTube. All right. So the fact of the matter is, this is the opinion of a stranger, of a non-perfect stranger, because I ain't perfect. I know that's not what the word perfect stranger means, by the way, but I'm just, you know, kind of doing a play on words, but I'm just a stranger. So don't get mad at my opinion. This is just how I feel, because here's one thing that I want to say, because I do see a lot of videos where people are saying, Ward won, deal with it. Stop bitching about the Ward Kovalev fight, and so on. And I mean, it's their right to make those videos if that's what they want, but it's also everybody else's right to bitch and complain if that's what they want to do. It's freedom of speech. That's how it works, baby. But anyways, now that I got all that out of the way, all that stuff, because that's stuff that should be common sense, but it's not. A lot of people just don't seem to grasp how freedom of speech actually works, and you know that's why I have that MOBC mentality. You can say whatever you want, but guess what? I can say whatever I want. This is my channel. You don't like it? There's other channels. But anyways, when it comes to this Ward Kovalev fight, I have to say that I am on the train, you know, that train of thought that this was a robbery. All right? And I'm going to explain why. Like I said, you know, if you're somebody who uses critical thinking, listen to my logic. And if you disagree, that's fine. If you feel that Ward was, you know, if you feel that he earned the win, that's fine. But I don't. So I want to say the first 4 or 5 rounds were all Kovalev. All Kovalev. Okay? And keep in mind, round 2, Kovalev got that knockdown. So, and I think most people can agree at least the first 4 rounds. I think round, was it round 5 or round, I know around there is where Ward started turning it up. But I want to say it was maybe the 5th round I gave to Ward, and then 6 back. So, let's see, that's 5 rounds. So that means if Kovalev won any round after that point, which he did, then that's at least a win. Actually, I was going to say a draw, but because of the knockdown, that would make it at least a win by 1 point. And we also have to look at some, because a lot of what I'm hearing is, well, you got to give it to Ward. He, after getting knocked down in the 2nd round, and he was able to come back and get the win, which is, like I said, I don't feel he won. Okay? And I've already, gone into the scoring at this point. So let's talk about fights where somebody was knocked down and was able to come back and get the win. When Daniel Jacobs fought Sergio Mora the first time. Now, granted, they both knocked each other down early in the fight. So it's not quite the same, but I'm, just gonna, really every fight, there's not gonna be 2 fights that are the same. Let's just be honest. So, but Danny Jacobs got a TKO on him, however. Now, it was a bit controversial. Sergio Mora, I believe it was in the 4th round, he twisted his ankle, something like that, and he couldn't continue. He was trying to, but the ref was like, "Nah, you can't continue. You have no footwork because your foot's broken." It wasn't broken, but I don't think it was broken. I think he had just twisted it. It was affected to the point where he couldn't use his feet effectively. So he got the TKO win. So, of course, doesn't matter what happened up to the point of a knockout. Once the knockout happens, whoever got the knockout won. Now let's take a look at another one. Carl Frampton, when he fought Alejandro Gonzalez. he also got knocked down. It was either in the first or second round. It was very early in the fight. And he came back with the win. I don't think Andre Ward put on that kind of performance. I don't think he did enough to take the titles away from Kovalev. To me, and this is just my opinion, okay? And I highly suggest that if my opinion offends you, that you go see a psychologist, because I'm just someone with an opinion. We don't have to agree. So please don't get offended when I say this. But I don't see it. I don't see how Ward did enough to take away those belts. It's almost as if people were like, well, because he simply survived after getting knocked down, he deserves the W. That's what it almost seems like. Like that's kind of the narrative that I'm hearing. I don't think Ward did enough to win. Now, if you disagree, that's fine. I mean, I'm finding a lot of people are using the word controversial, and trying to say that it's not a robbery, and I think it's beyond controversial. I really do think Kovalev got robbed. And, this is exactly why a lot of fighters don't want to go to other countries, because this is the kind of thing that happens. I remember at one point, they were talking about the Terrence Crawford fight with Manny Pacquiao when it was first getting talked about. I think they were saying that they wanted to have it in China, if I'm not mistaken. And apparently Terrence Crawford said that he didn't want to fight Manny Pacquiao in China because he was afraid he'd get robbed. And a lot of people would call that a duck, but I honestly can't blame him. I can't blame, and I'm a Manny Pacquiao fan, but guess what? I'm also a Terrence Crawford fan. And, when things like this happen, you can't help but to agree, and I'm sorry. I don't think Andre Ward won this fight. Big shout out to Boxing Now. He did a video. He was actually there at the fight. And he said everybody he interviewed said that they felt Kovalev won, except for Andre Berto. Now, when you're talking about, opinion on who you think won a fight, always consider the source. Andre Berto says that he thinks Andre Ward won by 1 point. Now, Andre Berto is trained by who? The same trainer as Andre Ward. So that means that he knows him personally. There's Instagram videos of Andre Ward joking around in the gym and Andre Berto laughing. These guys are more than just acquaintances. So consider the source. I mean, his opinion could only be considered bias at best. So I think there was a lot of sensationalizing things that Ward did. After Ward got knocked down, the way that he acted, like, I think Kellerman said something like along the lines of, oh, he's trying to bully the bully. Well, I don't know what you consider bullying, because Andre Ward wasn't doing to Kovalev what Kovalev did to Ward. Kovalev got a legitimate knockdown on Ward, and Ward came back and, in my opinion, acted like a child. the way he was acting, those were illegal tactics. Now, I mean, it didn't get him nowhere, you know, except for the fact that it did kind of distract Kovalev, and I think that's why Kovalev didn't go for the knockout. He was too busy trying to not get pushed around by Ward. But Kovalev was landing the more effective punches. Yes, Ward did do better later in the fight, but it was not enough to get the win. And that's just my honest opinion. Now, if your opinion is that it wasn't a robbery, if you do legitimately think it was just a controversial win, that's fine. That's fine. We don't have to agree. And I'm going to say this. Most of you guys are decent guys. Most of you guys out there on YouTube are decent people. You know, if you were given the opportunity to help out your fellow man, regardless of what their skin color was, or what religion or sexual preference, whatever, a lot of you guys would be willing to help them out. So I know most of y'all are decent people. But I see a lot of decent people calling other decent people racists, coons. And here's the thing. Just because somebody has an opinion that differs from yours, if they're of a different race, doesn't make them racist. I'm not black or white. And actually, Ward is both. So it's kind of a win-win for all of y'all who are black or white. But if you really think about it, if you're gonna play the race card, but I'm not black or white, so I don't have a dog in the race. If you want to try to call me a racist, see what I did there? Another play on words. Racist. I don't have a dog in the race. I was messing around, but anyways. I can't help but to be bothered when I see this behavior where if someone's black and they think Andre Ward was, or that Kovalev was robbed, that you would automatically just call them a coon. Listen to their reasoning. Listen to their logic. And then if their logic is flawed, and the only conclusion you can come to, and the only conclusion would be that they're racist. If that's the only conclusion you can come to, then fine. But just because somebody's opinion differs from yours, that ain't right. It's like I said, I don't think that means you're not a racist. That doesn't mean that I don't think you're a decent person. But I do think that there are some flaws in how you judge someone's character. You know, and same thing goes the other way around. If you're somebody who feels that Kovalev was robbed, but somebody says that they think it's a controversial win, or they feel that Ward did enough to win, it doesn't necessarily make them a racist either. Listen to their logic. At the end of the day, we're all just boxing fans. So, but, I mean, if somebody makes a video, it's their channel. They can say whatever they want. But, and I really don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. I will be damned if somebody's going to tell me that they can voice their opinion and I can't voice mine. No. That's wrong. This is my channel. So I'm going to give my take. And if you don't like it, I'm going to be the bigger man. You go do your thing, I'll do mine. Anyways, to all my subscribers, anybody watching my videos, or if you just so happen to stumble on this video, hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace.